Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and welcome to our 15 minutes with the Indiana Tech Library. We'll be talking with us today about some of our different resources the Indiana Tech Library has to offer, and especially for our students when it comes to researching kind of different companies and careers and the resources they have to offer there. I have with me today Brian Hickman. He's been director of the library at Indiana Tech since fall of 2019. He received his Master's of Library and Information Science in 1997 and a Master's in Management and Organizational Behavior in 2015. Brian does research into music and culture studies and attends conferences all over the world. He very much enjoys living in Fort Wayne and welcomes all different restaurant recommendations. We also have with us Janet Riley, who has been with Indiana Tech since 2013. She is currently the e-learning library at McMillen Library. Janet has a bachelor's degree in history, English, and business, and a master's in library science. In Janet's free time, she enjoys reading, crocheting, and working outside with her husband and their 3 sons. Everyone, please welcome Brian Hickman and Janet Riley.
Well, thank you. So as I'm bringing up our shared screen and our presentation, I'll mention that librarians, as far as a service, and then our resources, we will have things for you at every stage of your career, from undergraduate to entering the job market, to working, with others, perhaps becoming a manager, working on projects, maybe a career change, and things like that. And I would even say books to consider for retirement, and in an international sense. So no matter where you want to go or where you want your information to focus on. Okay, well, let me know, please, if you're able to see my PowerPoint.
Not yet.
Okay, we'll try the next one. Oh, I got to then click share. Okay.
There it is.
There we go. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I will briefly go over the agenda and describe what we do as far as our reason for being on campus. And then Janet will be doing some of the speaking parts, and then we'll have a question and answer opportunity. So we'll go over what academic librarians do. We're here for the employees, so faculty for their courses and their research, administrators for their decisions, and staff. Perhaps we work with, say, Office of Diversity, Office of Advancement, as far as information they might need. And then we'll go over sources for career paths, how we complement what the Career Resources Center offers you. Specific things like interviewing, cover letters, and resumes. And you'll find when you're looking through library resources that we have ebooks, online videos, magazine, newspaper, scholarly journal articles that you would get through the library. You wouldn't be given the same access if you go through Google. And then we'll go over some specific things we have. We'll give you recommendations on reasons you would want to have a card for your nearby public library somewhere down the line, and consider the nearby colleges and universities for resources that they can provide you that you wouldn't otherwise get. We'll highlight some of our sources on management and leadership, and then a few of the ones on career changes. And so what academic librarians do? So by definition, a librarian has a master's degree in library and information science. The name of that degree can vary somewhat. There are roughly 40-some accredited schools in the US and Canada, and we help people find information. So oftentimes it's easy to find what you need. Other times, because the world of information is so complex, multifaceted, and as a whole, it is frustrating. It doesn't just seem that way, it is that way. So our expertise is knowing how information is organized, and then you would be the subject expert, let's say in engineering. And we would have a partnership where, working together, we can help you guide you through that information in your field and then you know how to evaluate it and decide what you want and things like that. So I'll pass it over to Janet.
Yeah, so as Brian was saying, we have library resources for all types of career paths. And we work with the Career Center. So students, alumni can go to the Career Center for help, and then come to the library for help to supplement that. We had a very generous donor, an alumni of Indiana Tech, Ray Brochard. Several years ago, he donated the Ray Brochard Career Resource Collection to us. And in this collection, we have physical books on business etiquette, personality tests, career paths, all kinds of resources to help you get started in your career choice. We also have lots of ebooks in our collection covering every major, every career path there. And then finally, we also have a career resources LibGuide. That's an online resource that we librarians construct and routinely maintain, and that is kept up to date with resources as well that you can find online. Next. So this is just a highlight of some of the ebooks we have. The first book, shows you careers, kind of a biology path. We have books specific to the major, such as biology, sports management, business. We also have more generalized books. So as you can see on the right, we have a book on college majors. Maybe you come to college and you're undecided on your major. This resource would help you kind of narrow it down. As well as we can help the graduate student. As you can see in the middle, we have Demystifying Career Paths After Graduate School. If at any time you would like to view one of these books, please feel free to contact us and we'd be happy to help you locate those through our resources on our website. We also provide several databases for career resources. So as you can see in this picture, this is a sample from the EBSCO database. This highlights Indiana Michigan Power Company. When you log into EBSCO, you go to company information at the top, and EBSCO provides several profiles on companies. And if you wanted to know about maybe a company local to our area, such as Indiana Michigan Power, Vera Bradley's one, any kind of company, you can get information on that here. This is showing you our career services LibGuide. So from our main website, you would click on research guides, which are also called LibGuides. Then you would be able to locate the career resources LibGuide. And here is where we can compile information for you in one spot. So this LibGuide might include links to ebooks. It might include links to local municipality information, such as the city of Fort Wayne, jobs local to Allen County. There's also an international tab where we'll provide resources to job searching beyond Allen County in the United States.
So continuing on, we're going to have a number of books, and I would highly recommend you want to take the time to see what are the current trends, what are the current possible questions, where maybe it's a potential trap if the question surprises you, things like that. And what's the latest with cover letters and resumes? So some things change and some things don't change. And then there might be specific standards for a particular field or vocation. And so we can help you identify those things and help you impress people when you're interviewing. Things to consider, let's say like webcam position, things like that, or LinkedIn profiles. You might get some of that from different sources, and we can provide you with detailed chapters, little videos and things like that. And here we see some of the specifics. So when you're in your career and you're an alum of Indiana Tech, we still are happy to help you and make ourselves available. And so we'll do the best we can to provide you with some of the information you need. Perhaps you're doing a project management for the first time, or you have a position where you're working some virtually or completely virtually, and there are things to consider. And as we know, a lot of people have learned things due to necessity in recent months, and then specific things too. Career paths for particular fields, ones in engineering with that ebook that you see on the left. And the videos, we have hundreds and hundreds of videos. Some of them are short, some of them are 10 minutes to an hour or more. Within our databases, we're going to have trade magazines. We're going to have national magazines like Entrepreneur, things that would be free and you might find you have access to at the public library, or you could just stop at the nearby college library and view without having any affiliation with that college. So we can help you with such recommendations too when you want to keep up with things in your field. And so here we see some of our databases provide really good market research that you're just not going to find freely available via Google and things. And this could be anywhere in the world. I had a person recently wanting to look into schools and in particular cities outside the US, and we can find that kind of information for you. Maybe it's competitive market research, things like that. So you can see the different things listed here that you might find useful depending on what you're doing. Going back to our Ray Brochar collection, we would have books on, maybe you want to read from some of the masters out there, the experts on negotiating skills. Games at work there, you see that book on the left. A lot of times the best way to learn about office politics is by experiencing them, and then you can improve your understanding by reading a book. And you see other books that are rather specific that you might find beneficial. And there's always interlibrary loan to keep in mind wherever you may be. And back to you, Janet.
So again, in the Ray Brochar collection, we have resources on management and leadership. We also have resources for these topics and more in our ebook collection. And here's a snapshot of one of our databases, ABI Inform, provided through ProQuest, where you can search for articles on these topics as well. So we have ebooks and articles and videos on any kind of topic you might be interested to know more about searching in your career. Again, we have career resources also for maybe you're in the middle of a career change and you need some resources for choosing how you want to go about that. Here's another database provided through ProQuest. This is entrepreneurship database, and you can search for articles in that as well. And if at any time, again, if you would need help searching for these things, you can contact Brian or myself or any of the McMillen librarians, and we'd be happy to help you.
So here's our contact information. And we're sincere when we say we're happy to hear from you, whether it's during your time as a student here on campus or one of our online students. And years from now, when you haven't been back to campus or anything, we're still here for you. We work with the Alumni Association and other departments on campus to meet your needs because we're always warriors. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. That was wonderful information. I did have a few quick questions for you guys as we're kind of moving forward. So we talked about how we're all warriors for life and the e-library and kind of using that as, how does that work as an alumni? How does the access work? Is there still access to the e-library? Or is that like a request kind of thing? Just kind of walk through what that looks like from an alumni standpoint.
So that's a very important question. In short, it's complicated because publishers are very protective and the licenses we sign for the databases, for example, and the ebooks restrict their use to current employees and current students as a whole.
Okay.
That said, we can still provide you with information. We just need to remain within fair use and go with copyright. So I would argue it's a benefit, even with limitations, that we can be of service to students at any point in their careers.
Wonderful. And you guys have access to where they could find that elsewhere, even if it's not necessarily through our database. You can help them find out where to get it from.
So
exactly.
One of the main things librarians do is we investigate things and offer referrals. So we could say search the WorldCat database, which is combining all the online catalogs basically of all the public libraries and all the different academic libraries, and let a person know, well, you'll find this physical book at this place near you and that place near you, and maybe you can get a card with them, or maybe you would just have to go there and read it, things like that. So there are workarounds that we're familiar with.
Awesome. And then for, I guess, kind of piggybacking off of that question as well, this is for students and alumni coming in. The Ask a Librarian function, I know it's a thing you guys have. Could you go into that, and is that a great way to kind of contact you guys? Or is direct contact from the information you gave just a minute ago better? I guess, what's the kind of...
Sure. Go ahead, Janet.
We can be contacted either way. We can be contacted individually, or if someone would choose to contact us via Ask a Librarian, the form for that can be found on our main website, the library's website. And it's just a form where you can fill out your name, your contact information, your question, maybe some searching you've already done. That just helps us know where to go to recommend new resources that maybe you haven't seen. And then that gets sent in an email, and all of us librarians have access to that email. So one of us can assist the person very rapidly with a response.
All right. Awesome. Well, that's the questions I have. If there's anything else you guys want to throw out, please feel free. And I just want to thank you guys for all the work you do. I know as an undergrad, I definitely did not utilize the library as much as I probably should have, but luckily I made up for that a little bit as a graduate student. So.
All right, well, we're always happy to help, and the students, you're never interrupting us. That's why we're here. So Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys very much, and thank all of you for joining us today. And for those watching this in the future, I hope that you find the information here helpful. So thank you very much.
Thank you.